and welcome. You are watching Digital Disruptors. I am Kalpana Singhal, Editor-in-Chief CXO TV, and we have Rajneesh Sheth, an IT thought leader, as our guest today. Thank you. We appreciate you for taking out time and joining us today at CXO TV.
Thank you.
Rajneesh, if you can introduce yourself to the CXO TV audience.
I'm Rajneesh Sheth. I have more than 25 years of experience in IT, and I have been working with startups to the multinational, from the service provider side as well. Since last 2.5 years now, I'm working as a Chief Information Officer for a mid-sized conglomerate in Mumbai. And apart from that, I am also helping students at management institutes, by mentoring them in doing their projects and helping them, designing their own startup venture.
So, Rajneesh, what are the roles and responsibilities of CIOs in the current situation?
CIO is a role which has to be across the board. When we talk about any other CXO level, when we talk about chief financial officer, he needs to understand all other aspects, but he needs to be an expert on the financial side. Similarly, for the CIO, he needs to understand the business first. The business objectives has to be understood by CIO, and being a technology person, then he can guide the management in terms of what technology direction an organization should take to achieve those business objectives. And all these, it is very, very critical that CIO must have a strategic planning skills, already heavy. Also, once planning is done, the major challenges come up in execution, and that's where the leadership quality comes into picture. Which again, CIO will have to lead from the front, and a CIO will typically get involved in projects which are involve people from various domains. So if we are implementing, say, an IoT based project in an organization, the CIO will have to drive the project with factory guys, with financial guys, with materials guys. So he needs to be able to lead the team, which is a completely diverse team. It is not people with the same skill set he needs to drive. So that leadership plays a very critical role. Also, CIO needs to be persuasive. So when we say leadership, it is not only defining the goals and asking team to go ahead with execution, but there are going to be challenges as execution starts, and the CIO will have to sometimes act as a coach, sometimes as taskmaster, and will have to continuously persuade the team to achieve their objectives. Only person who can be a change agent for technology, drive in organization is CIO, and he needs to play a role of a change agent. Right from at the board level to the ground level, he needs to present himself as a change agent, so that the change can happen successfully in the organization. And once he has all this, he needs to also ensure that he is commanding the respect and not demanding the respect because he is just a CIO. In current times, I think CIO must also think more from a profitability perspective. The IT department or IT as a function is no more a cost center. People have started looking it as profit center, and there are limitations. One can generate revenue, but CIOs can always look for an opportunity to reduce the cost, because anything which is saved is equivalent to earned. So in current times, they need to really look at their processes, their people, their tools, that how it can help them reduce cost. Because today the situation is not much of people are not thinking about growth, but people are thinking about survival.
Right. So what are the digital tech interventions that a CIO needs to do in the current situation to make the organization agile and adaptable to the business needs.
Right. So, we always hear this term, current situation. But, to my mind, current situation is more different when it comes to, adapting digital technology. Uh, One has to have a long-term view of what technologies he is adopting. And when I say long-term view, there are certain factors which we need to consider. Sorry. What is the longevity of a technology? Whether those technologies will be in line with the business objective, long-term business objectives organization has set up. So to give you some, and yes, in current times, a lot of business models are also changing. You know, and they are not changed by decision, but they are changed by force. So we know many restaurants which were not tied up with online food ordering platforms because they thought that they are premium restaurants and they do not provide, they do not go through Swiggy or Zomato. But in a current situation where the customer is not going to, the guest is never going to walk in into your restaurant until complete lockdown is opened, they are forced to take this direction. You know, if we talk about media and entertainment, 2 years back, the media and entertainment, there were two sides of media and entertainment companies. One was saying that we will produce a movie and will release it on a big screens only. And there were other side of the industry which were creating web series and serials. Now I can see a lot of this side people moving into web series because they do not have an option to release their production onto a big screen at all, at least to a foreseeable future. And so these are decisions which are coming because of this current situation, and that's where adoption of technology. So as I said earlier, tying up with Disney Hotstar was never thought of, but now it is a necessity. So whatever it needs to be done to do that, it has to be done technically. Secondly, I mean, if we talk about hotels, hospitality industry, uh, earlier it used to be we check in into the hotel, we get the keys for the room from the reception, and we go and open it. Now the whole objective is to make it completely contactless. So the guest walks in and he is not touching any of the gadgets or any of the things in the hotel until he reaches his home. So there are technologies which has come up, to address these challenges, and these are the things which has happened out of necessity because of COVID.
What are those technologies that you think, and if you can elaborate their use cases also?
First is increased usage of cloud. Now to give you an example, earlier pre-COVID, it was only IT and some people who used to work from home. Now today, we have banking, insurance people also working from home. So how do we ensure that there is an integrity of data? There is a redundancy of data available. Increased usage of technologies like VDI, where your complete usage of the device and data is changed. You can use any device to hook up to your organization cloud, connect to a cloud as if you are connecting to your desktop, work on your data, and your data saves on the cloud itself. So the advantage are manifold. You are device agnostic. If you have one device which is malfunctioning, you can switch over to another device. You need not to wait for your internal IT to come and fix your problem immediately. So this is one example where VDI can help companies adapt very fastly. Also, as I said, in the restaurant, allowing online ordering of the food by the restaurant, and in the hospitality industry, providing contactless experience to the customer, which will give more confidence to the customer to come into the hotel.
So, what are the main challenges in digital transformation of an organization, especially in the current scenario?
The major challenge is the resistance to the change. When I talk about VDI, uh, when organization starts implementing VDI, that is virtual desktop infrastructure, the first question comes is my data safe? You know, is my data going to be reside in India or in Singapore or in US? So the first and foremost is a lot of skepticism from the top management, a lot of resistance to change from all the people. So that's where CIO and CTO will have to play a very key role to make sure that all those questions are answered and addressed properly. Second is any digitization would involve, at the center of the digitization, it would be customer, and lack of clear vision for a digital customer journey would be a big challenge. Another one would be ineffective gathering and leveraging of customer data. So because the root of digital success is customer data. Now whether it is Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, or Uber, we all know that digital success stories have the effective gathering, storing, and leveraging of customer data at the core. Again, all the technologies which we are using right now, they have to be aligned with the digitization. I mean, just to give you an example, in a conventional software development environment, we would have had quarterly release cycles. But wherein if you are talking about a digitization project, you have to keep on learning things on every week or every fortnight basis.
Not just the COVID-19 and the lockdown challenges, but how can digitization help address these slowdown challenges through optimizing process and enabling solutions to work more efficiently?
Slowdown is something which is, there is a decrease in demand, which, results into lesser investment in new businesses. And decrease in demand would also reduce, the disposable income in the hand of people, and thus, they will be spending little lesser than they used to spend earlier. And then every dollar or rupee which they will spend, they'll think 10 times, because they need to also spend whatever they have very efficient. Now, this is where the technology will come into picture, because when we talk about products or services available in the market, you will find identical products with different brands and identical quality, identical price points. So how do you ensure that money which is going to be spent by consumers is spent on your product and not on your competitor's product? The only opportunity probably we have is reduce the cost, increase the efficiency, and and ensure that you have a equivalent or higher quality. When we talk about reducing the cost, there are any processes which can be automated. So just to give you an example, let's say if you have a manufacturing plant and you have one or two people in your plant at a location who is monitoring temperature, humidity, and if it is humanly done, it is prone to error. Now one can simply put in use an IoT solution, a very simple IoT solution, where humidity and the temperature could be measured automatically, and the quality of course improves day by day. So that's where you are reducing the cost, you are increasing the quality, and you are making sure that you are able to pass on that reduction in the cost to the consumer to have a competitive advantage in the market.
So how are organizations looking at leveraging an IIoT based digital dashboard?
Digital dashboard is something which is a very generic term. Now it will vary from times to time and industry to industry. I mean, 10 years back or 15 years back, when we talk about digital dashboard, it was having one view of the data in front of the management was used to call a digital dashboard. Today, that is not the case, because today that is being assumed that it will be available if you have, the basic ERP or a supply chain management system in your place. Today, the digital dashboard will be, should be available on cloud. It should give you information which is from multiple sources. So it could be your in-house system. It could be, the data from Twitter. When customers are constantly, giving feedback on your product. So these two data has to marry and give a digital dashboard. As well as from an IoT perspective, that one example which I gave, very simple IoT project where you're measuring humidity and temperature, and you're controlling cost. Another example I would give is the hospitality industry. Now you can have in current situation where everybody is expected to maintain a social distancing, lot of use of robotics in terms of restaurant delivery within the restaurant, or delivery to the guest room, that can be used. Online ordering, even sitting within the to a kitchen, should be used, because gone are the days where the steward will come and serve you. So those things have to be can be used. We can use IoT to automate that.
So what would you suggest when it comes to security? What are the best practices for security?
See, security, when we talk about security, the IT security is a very, very critical aspect in today's business environment. The critical aspect is that your data has to be secure. Your data integrity has to be maintained. And because everybody is working from home, the device security, because you never know that the internet which your employees are using, what kind of service provider it is, what kind of device it is being used. Because today, when a dad is attending an office meeting from the same laptop, probably where the child is also attending his school. So there are multiple things which are happening on one device. So even an endpoint security has become once again, very critical. Which earlier we used to would have said that it is done and dusted, but that has come into picture once again. And also, how we are making sure that data is, secured. And so that's where the cloud comes into picture. And as I said, the answer to maximum and all these challenges can be taken care by implementing virtual desktop infrastructure, wherein you become device agnostic.
How the IT agenda of the organizations will evolve during this course of period, like for next 2021, 22, how that IT agenda will get changed?
I think more and more focus would be on cost optimization. Second would be, earlier we used to have IT budgets, and the focus was more on, spending those budgets and not, measuring the outcome. Because, once the budget has been defined, the IT managers, the project managers are expected to spend that budget, and nobody was really bothered, on measuring the outcome. Now I think the more focus is going to be on outcome-based projects. So, once you have identified an, result outcome, then you work backwards and, you define a project and, execute it and ask for the budget. Thirdly, I think the skill enhancement, which is going to be very, very critical. Anyone working within the technology domain, if he needs to remain, in that particular role, he needs to assess his own skills. I would say every 6 months at least, because there is a plethora of new technologies which are pouring in. Organizations want to, adapt to those technologies, and the people from the technology background, they need to, ensure that they are up to the mark in terms of adopting and understanding those technologies. So skill enhancement, skill development of an IT person is very, very going to be critical.
Thank you so much, Rajneesh. It was a complete pleasure interacting with you today.
Thank you, Kalpana. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you, TechPlus.